Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Back. Steve Rannazzisi. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Rannazzisi.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's What's the Odds with Steve Rannazzisi, Friday, October 7th, 2022. The newest, the greatest, the latest. It's a Friday night, so it's baseball, AL wild card, and NL wild card. It's like 4 games in one day. So we're in the middle of watching that. I'm in the middle of watching that, and we're going to cover football. We got the Aaron Judge thing, and then whatever these guys have come up with. So, to me, the biggest story of the last week was definitely the fact that, well, Tom Brady's getting divorced, but I don't want to start there. It's like they're getting divorced. I really didn't think they were going to break up. I really thought this is all like media bullshit, that they just probably like had some sort of falling out or whatever, and they'll patch it up. But once they start to talk about divorce lawyers and stuff, that's coming from like divorce lawyers, the high end ones. Like you learned last week about EMTs robbing people. Divorce lawyers have people on their payroll, like that from like TMZ and like places like that, because they're the people that get the phone calls right away. Hey, this is so-and-so. I'm looking to meet with, lawyer X to talk about, well, you know what they're talking about, getting fucking divorced. So I think this is credible. I think they're breaking up. But Aaron Judge breaking the record, to me, was the biggest story of, since we last spoke. So did you guys watch it? Where were you when it happened? Break it down for me.
I watched it. I was in my house. Congratulations on breaking the American League record.
Oh,
still 14 short of the actual record, but congratulations
really
on breaking the American League record. What a moment.
Is that really how you're going to play this, dude? The American League record, and as if like you're just
that is the American League record.
Okay.
Steve, what did I say there that was not factual? He broke the American League record. He's 14 shy of the actual record.
Okay. Did
he have the greatest offensive season of all time? Definitely top 5. For sure, top 5. He was incredible. He all but one statistical category, he led the league, and it wasn't even close. So he's
Do you know what
amazing.
baseball's league batting average is in baseball this year?
It's dipped lower and lower every year in the last few years,
like
because
241.
roids are gone and pitching's gotten a lot better. So it's amazing what he did. The fact that he hit 62 and still hit over 300 is spectacular.
It's like it's like 240, dude.
I know, but
yeah.
Still 14 shy of the top.
Okay.
Incredible season, MVP season. Congratulations to Aaron Judge. Now go win a World Series, or it's all for naught.
But do you understand why people consider it the record?
Yeah.
Overall.
But there were a lot of
him possibly the home run king.
You would have to keep going back and changing all the records and everything, because you can pick and choose different things. Like there weren't black people weren't allowed to play baseball. Latino players were not allowed in Major League Baseball. So take away all the stats from the first 50 years of baseball.
Well, I mean,
it was segregated. What?
Yeah. No,
it was segregated. So, I mean, you can't go down that path where you're like, no, they did roids. That doesn't count, until Major League Baseball says, okay, these stats literally do not count anymore. You can't take it away. Do I think it's right? No. But the fact remains, he hit 62 and Barry Bonds hit 73. The record is 74.
And I understand that. I get that point of view. But you have to understand where the people that are saying that he's the home run king. Do you believe Barry Bonds
Yankee fans are saying that. Yeah, I believe Barry Bonds took steroids.
Do you believe Mark McGwire took steroids?
He admitted to it.
And do you believe that Sammy Sosa, who is now a fat white man, a white Caucasian man, do you believe that person took steroids as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. So right now, those are the 3 guys that have hit more home runs than Aaron Judge did in a season.
But Steve, did the Houston Astros cheat to win a World Series?
Yes.
Are they still World Series champions?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying you have to understand why the other side
Well, the other side could say whatever they want. I'm just saying,
clear
I
that he's the only clean person to have broken this record or to get to the.
We don't know that, and who knows what
Okay.
happens 5 years from now when he's 5 years into a $650 million contract and he starts slumping and he gets desperate.
No, I agree.
We don't know.
I agree, but all signs are pointing to the fact that he plays the game clean. He's hit 50 home runs before.
Yeah.
This is not a number that has not been like Barry Bonds hit 20 more home runs that season than he ever hit in one season ever in his life. So that's a remarkable jump. Now, this is 12 runs more than he ever hit. He hit 50 his rookie year, I think it was, Judge. But, it's not that big of a jump. You could see the power from the very, very beginning. So I'm going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. I really am. I'm happy that he did it. I'm happy that it wasn't a situation where he had to share the record with Roger Maris. Mm-hmm. Then it would have got really fucking stupid and fishy. And I think that for all parties involved, except for the fucking guy that caught the ball, I'm not happy about that. I'm really not. Yes. I couldn't tell. First of all, it didn't look like it was pandemonium. Like you would think people would be. Now, one guy, I don't know if anyone saw the video. One guy fell over. Did you see that? He fell off the side.
Would you not have done the same though? That's a life-changing baseball if you catch it.
But what I mean, have you seen I've seen a couple views of it. There's a guy that he must have been with, the guy that caught the ball, literally filming it as it's coming towards him, and his buddy who's closer from me to the camera catches it. And I'm like, why aren't you in the fucking game? Like, is this guy is this a Make-A-Wish? Like, why are you holding a fucking phone and not going to try to catch that ball? Like, it seemed very civilized. Mm-hmm. And I know that's terrible to say, as in a shocking way, but it really is shocking when you're all these people didn't seem to go crazy. Now, apparently one guy fell over. I didn't see the one guy fall over, but that's the sort of effort I was expecting from everyone. The guy just seemed to put his hand up, catch it. That was it. Turn to his buddy. It was like, what? This was the big, I thought people would be literally diving and it was going to be a little chaotic, a little bit of a scene. I guess I'm happy that, people were civilized, but I really expected them not to be. So I guess good on the Texas people, the good people of Arlington or wherever they are now. Because I thought it was going to be a fucking shit show. And then when I heard that he got it and that he was a hedge fund guy, I go, oh, this guy's never giving this ball back. This guy, his buddy had a suit jacket, a Yankee suit jacket on. Mm-hmm. You would think that guy would have more blood in the game here, but the guy, this guy just Texas Ranger cap, black fucking shirt, catches the ball. They escorted him out. He's definitely not. He's gonna play this thing to the very end. He's gonna maximize the money. That's what investment guys try to do. So there's no way this ball's gonna ever be in the hands of anyone good or anyone that's like a decent person. This ball it's like a blood diamond at this point. This ball has really, and you know what? Did you hear he got offered $2 million?
No, but that's insane.
An auction house offered him $2 million already the day after. Now, what I found interesting is, I mean, I don't know if the timeline works out the way I think it does, but I read that article pretty early in the morning the day after. So I think they offered it to him before the actual game. The Yankees had another game to play. So it's sort of a risk. I mean, it was probably not that great of a risk, but if you kind of assumed Judge was going to sit that game out because after he broke the record, they took him out of the game. Yeah. And they probably wanted him to rest. But if he didn't rest, right, and he did play, and he did hit another home run, now your ball is not worthless, but not $2 million, right? It's not $2 million. I'm not paying $2 million for a ball that's like the 63 is now the ball that, you probably get maybe 100,000, maybe six figures for the 62nd, but everyone's going to want the newest and the latest. So it was kind of a risk to kind of not, although $2 million it's gonna be worth way more than $2 million.
Mhm.
If Judge hits 67 next year, though, does that make it?
Yes, then it becomes less valuable.
I hope that happens.
It's health, dude. When the guy stays healthy, it's incredible. He was healthy his rookie year.
Look at him though in the box. Just his batting you can't throw it anywhere. He's not going to hit. Just the way he stands, it's almost like he's turned sideways, and then he just puts his entire body into it.
And the difference between his rookie year and this year is that, I mean, in the past couple of years, is that he's really learned the strike zone. He's not chasing, so he gets in 3-0, 3-1 counts. He gets in hitters counts all the time because people try to bite and not throw anything, too close. So they're afraid to make a mistake, and he capitalizes on that now. And he's willing to take a walk. He's willing to be patient enough to get a pitch that he can drive. And so it's just health. If the guy is healthy, he is a remarkable power hitter. And now even an average hitter. He can hit to all fields. He has power to all fields. It's all dependent upon his health, And I'm not saying
Steve, in any order. He can go in any spot in the order, and that's a very underrated trait. The fact that he can hit in the 4 spot or he can be lead off is
it used
insane.
to be a power guy hit in the 4 spot. You had your best hitter hit 3rd, your best average hitter, and your best, on base guy 1st, and so it worked like that. Now it's like, put your best hitter where like 1st. He's going to get the most at bats. The way lineups go now, he's the guy that hit. That's why Judge is, had an opportunity. He's not a leadoff hitter. He probably in most lineups would not be a leadoff hitter, but that's where he was comfortable. And it's like you were going to get the guy behind him was going to have a really great advantage this year. The guys that hit behind him, because he was on base. He's not the fastest guy, but he can steal a base. So he's always putting pressure on the defense. And, batting behind him's got to be a fucking joy. So hitting him 1st, it's like the rest of the lineup, go get him now. You want to walk him? You want to pitch around him? Great. We got a leadoff man on. It happened a lot in the last 2 weeks, and it was really nice to see. So, 67 next year completely would dilute. I mean, would you pay $2 million for a ball that, like, the record was broken 2 years later?
No.
Although the memorabilia market does go, I mean, they're paying the price based on the last time the record, how long the record stood for. That's kind of where the market is.
Yeah.
They're basing the price based on, like, this record will not be broken for another 61 years or, longer than that, however long it's been. So, that if you have something that doesn't come along or comes along every 60 something years, it is much more valuable. But like you said, if it's not next year or the year after, or someone else comes through and shows this sort of power, which is tough to do. I mean, this kid is just naturally, like, Giancarlo Stanton has unbelievable, just probably more pound for pound power than Aaron Judge does, but he doesn't know the strike zone. Giancarlo Stanton looks like he doesn't even know the game of baseball, like how to play baseball. He looks like a highlight. You ever see a highlight guy swimming? It's like swinging at, like, pitch, like things that are going down. Like, that's what he looks like sometimes. Aaron Judge rarely has stretches like that. I mean, I can't remember one in a long time. It's all dependent on his health. And I pray that he's on the Yankees and that he's healthy, and that this record, he didn't smash it. He didn't put up like 68 or 69 where you're like, dude, that's going to take fucking something incredible to get there again. 62 is doable. Absolutely. And another healthy year, 62 is absolutely doable. So fingers crossed. But I watched it. And, with the fucking, like, we watched so many of the at-bats. And then after a while, it became a thing where it was like, oh, you missed 1 or 2. So I'm like, Jonah Judge is up. He's like, oh, all right, I'll be in a minute. And then he hit it. And I'm like, dude, you missed it. He's like, I already saw it on, like, TikTok or whatever. I'm like, fuck, dude. It's like, no one needs to be there anymore.
No.
right? No one. There's nothing appointment anymore. Nothing appointment television, right? You'll just know about it later.
Yeah,
But just see it on fucking TikTok or wherever you see shit. So
exactly.
yeah, cool. So what else? What do you guys pick something next? I talked about Judge.
Draymond Green is out with the Warriors.
Yeah. Did you see that punch?
Yeah, somebody released that video. I don't know how the hell that got out.
Hold on. You guys pull up that video if you can. I'm gonna go get a piece of pizza. Go.
I think they wanted that to get out, obviously.
So they'd have a reason to cut him?
Yes, or trade him or re-sign him, and he's going to be gone.
They're not going to trade him. He doesn't have much value on the market. He's older and his play was declining. But do you know the context of why he got into a fight?
No, I don't really know the context. I mean, probably the same reason Josh Allen fights his D lineman, but he just controls himself a little bit.
Well, I'm sure it's going to come out. I haven't seen anything, but I'm sure it's going to come out as to why, if it hasn't already.
There were rumors. I'll tell you where the rumor was. Look at this fucking slice. There was a rumor that apparently Jordan Poole was mouthing off about his contract status or whatever, but then Steph Curry completely said that that's not true. So, it was a pretty bad punch, and apparently, like, you know, now the police are going to get involved, but they're not because it's the fucking Warriors, you know.
Well, speaking of the police in the Bay Area, the guy who ran on the field during the Rams 49ers game and got tackled by Wagner is pressing charges as well.
See,
what?
Yeah.
Charges against who?
Against Wagner for hitting him.
What?
Assault. Yeah, charging him with assault.
Wagner should charge him with being a pussy.
I should be allowed to run on the field, spraying pink smoke everywhere where the players are working during a nationally broadcasted game, and if you lay a finger on me, that is on you, and I'll take you to court. I will make you penniless. How dare you touch me?
What is it with this fucking pink smoke? With the Rams game I went to, there's a guy with the pink smoke. I didn't know it was a thing. And
I thought it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I honestly did. I thought it was something for I'm not kidding you.
Well, right now it's the Crucial Catch. The NFL is doing Crucial Catch. I think breast cancer awareness is next month, and then everyone.
How does he want to be tackled?
He doesn't want to be tackled. He wants to be able to spread his message without you touching him, and then he will leave after 30 or 40 minutes.
Then do a podcast like the rest of us.
How ironic, though, that an animal rights activist got ran over by 2 Rams.
Yeah.
Bam, nailed it. Joke's over, dude.
But this has happened. This has happened before. A player's been sued for hitting somebody who ran on the field, and it didn't work out too well for them. So they'll go to court. The NFLPA will give him amazing lawyers, and this guy will get bankrupted.
They tell you before the game, as soon as you run onto the field, you are in violation. Of like you're in trouble. You're trespassing. So like, he's lucky that no one pulled out a gun and shot him.
Yeah, because they didn't know. I mean, you pull out a thing and it lights on fire and there's smoke coming out. The players don't know what the fuck that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't know if you have anything else on you.
I think players should be allowed to hit them as hard as they want. Like, you can run on the field, but any player can hit you as hard as they want.
Yeah, plus these guys weren't playing a good game of football. They're frustrated. They got adrenaline. It's like, fuck that guy. We're trying to get back in this thing. You're killing our momentum. Take his fucking head off.
2 points. Safety.
Dude.
Your team should get 2 points.
I wish somebody would.
Yeah, make it into a thing. Whoever tackles this guy gets 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
I wish somebody ran on
It'll
the field
end real
last
quick.
night.
Who ran on the field?
No, I said I wish somebody would have run on the field last night.
You know,
that was one of the most.
The one game I was at Disneyland. That's the one game I have not watched this year. I've literally watched every single team, every single game, but that one, and I'm probably not going to watch it. I've heard everything I need to hear, and my God, the Broncos need to fire Hackett and figure stuff out.
Hackett maybe, but Russell Wilson.
A lot of it's Hackett. Russell Wilson may be on the decline, and it seems like now they've grossly overpaid, but he's not. You don't fall off a cliff like that,
dude.
Between one year and the next.
There were two guys that were wide open, dude.
You saw
Open.
You saw Ken Hamlin's reaction, right?
Yeah, I saw him take his helmet off and smash it on the turf.
Yeah. And you don't do that if he just misses you once.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think the Broncos, goddamn, and his contract doesn't kick in until next year. $250 million.
Well, there's no way they're going to be able to dump him on someone else.
Not with this body of work, dude.
Yeah.
He looks like what they had last year. Andrew, who did they have last year?
Drew Lock.
Bridgewater. Right?
It was Drew Lock, right? It was
Drew Lock, and then he lost the job because he was not good.
Right.
He was very inconsistent. And the fact that, Drew Lock went to Seattle and then couldn't beat out Geno Smith for the job says a lot about how bad Drew Lock was. But I still think Nathaniel Hackett has to take a lot of the blame because he just, as far as NFL coaches making their debut, he just seems like he's very ill prepared. He has so much talent that he's just not using. Like, what the fuck did Albert O do to the guy? Albert O played, I don't know the stats from last night, but Albert O played one, I think, maybe two offensive snaps the week before, and he's their best tight end. So he's just not using him. He was letting Melvin Gordon take half the snaps when Javonte was healthy, even though Javonte is far and away one of the best up and coming running backs up until he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
You're not letting Russ cook. I think a lot of it has to do with the coaching.
Dude, the coaching is not great. It goes back to week 1. He was not prepared then. But honestly, dude, when you're looking at a couple of the breakdowns of like where he was looking and the fact that who was wide open, that's like street ball shit, dude. Throw to the guy who's open, and he's missing guys left and right, missing throws. He made up for his height and with a great arm, great like pocket awareness, moving around. Being able to scramble here and there, but he's not a run-first quarterback. He's a pocket quarterback with great awareness, like a Drew Brees, but with more of an arm, of a stronger arm, a more accurate arm almost. And that's not what. And I don't think it went away last year in Seattle.
No, I think Pete Carroll just wanted to run the ball. Pete Carroll was just like, we're gonna run the ball every play. We're not gonna throw.
And be careful what you want, because this is what Russell Wilson wanted. He wanted I want to show the world, let me throw the ball.
Well,
and honestly,
it sucks that he got hurt, because before he got hurt, he was, he could run and scramble out of bad situations. And since his injury, kind of like Dak Prescott, neither one of them really run anymore.
Dude, he looks terrible. And I'm fucked because I went all in on him fantasy wise. I didn't take a top tier quarterback. I sat back and I went, he's with that defense, he's just got to put up 25, 30 points a game, and it's game over. They're going to walk through the West. And they look worse than the Raiders. They look worse. Their defense is better than the Raiders. That's what keeps them in games.
Yeah.
But they're offensively challenged right now.
Yeah, they are. But Derek Carr also has not played well, and he's either had complete tunnel vision for Devontae Adams, or he ignores. It's like it just depends on how he's feeling that week. It's either all Devontae or it's no Devontae, and they got to figure stuff out in Las Vegas as well.
If you're a Broncos fan, you're probably just as, if not more, disappointed than a Raiders fan, I would say,
or a Colts fan.
Hey,
I mean, there's three teams that are completely underachieving what we thought they would be.
Fun fact about last night's game: both starting quarterbacks played for NFC teams last year that represented birds. Both traded to AFC teams that represent horses. That's for our animals lovers out there.
And neither threw a touchdown last night.
No.
Yeah, and it was like a horse or a falcon actually handled the ball in the red zone because no one could get it in. It was pretty bad. It was
So
like
do you think Frank Reich gets fired?
something's
Do you
got to
think,
happen.
I mean, just reading Twitter, uh, just how bad that game must have been. Do you think he could get fired after a win like that? Like if you're Jim Irsay and you watch and you sit through that game and you're like, I've
You
invested
can't fire
so
him
much
after a
money.
win like that. No, but
Even a
you
horrible
the
win, where
writing
you're
is
still
on
like,
the wall.
you
Dude.
guys have not done anything to correct all the problems that we have.
No, the writing is on the wall that it's either a remarkable turnaround, they get their shit together, they figure out the offensive line. I mean, not only were they hurt with injuries, they got more injured last night. They looked terrible. I mean, they couldn't pass block for Matt Ryan at all. He had no time.
Yeah.
This is not a spry quarterback. This is not a young quarterback. This is someone you got to fucking, this is the Colts.
And you lose your now starting running back 3 plays in.
Yeah. I mean, and Nene Hines?
Naheem.
Hines. He was like Tua fucked up.
Yeah.
He was doing the wobble. At least they recognized it this time. I love how if you watched the halftime of the Amazon, they got
I did not watch the game.
They got Richard Sherman 2 weeks in a row. They're like they were like baffled with these head injuries. Like it's almost like they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Like they had a comment on them. Like I think seeing them is one thing and being like, oh, that's fucked up. But then like having to talk about them to the national public, like Fitzpatrick is like a very bright, Harvard educated guy, but he's almost at a loss for words talking about these head injuries, these 2 weeks in a row. Both Amazon games. You had Tua last week, and you had not what is it? I'm sorry, what's his fucking name? Naheem Hines. It was bad. He was doing the wobble too. Jonathan Taylor's out. So yeah, I think it's unless Jim Irsay unless Frank Reich has a complete 180, turns this thing around and makes it into the playoffs, he's gone, right?
Yeah, he has to be. I mean, his big metaphor last year was climbing the mountain, and it's a long way to the top, and it just seems like he hasn't left base camp, and the mountain
I
is
say give Brian Flores the job.
Absolutely. But if he does keep his job till the end of the year somehow by miracle, because he is in a fairly easy division. Jacksonville is definitely coming on, but they're not like, oh my God,
but look at
so
Cleveland,
loaded
dude.
with talent. But Cleveland's not in their division. I'm saying that
the
Colts still play in a pretty winnable division that they could
Houston
squeak
hasn't
out.
won yet.
Tennessee is not good,
No.
and they're pretty one-dimensional. Jacksonville is still Jacksonville. Their defense isn't like they're not terrible. They're a good fantasy defense, but they're not like a shutdown defense. And Houston is still Houston. So
we know who the best conference or the best division in football is. It's the NFC East. You've got the only undefeated team left in football. You've got two powerhouses in the Giants and the Cowboys sitting at 3-1. And then you have the Commanders. So,
are you looking forward to playing in London?
I'm looking forward to beating Aaron Rodgers in London. I am. Landon Collins signed. I don't think he's going to play, but he went over there, so we got him back.
Daniel Jones is going to go. He was hurt,
Daniel
but
Jones
he's good to go.
But let me tell you, let Saquon run the fucking Wildcat the whole fucking game, dude. The whole game.
Are you still, because the Giants are playing well and they are technically contending for a playoff spot, would a trade of Saquon to Buffalo at this point be terrible? Would you want them to keep him and keep trying to win?
Bro, we're not.
Because if they I know, but if they get rid of him, there's no chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah,
you go from competing with everybody to being fucking terrible.
No, you are right. You are right. But I just don't want to make it to the wild card, get our asses handed to us, and then Saquon's gone. Everyone's, and then we have we could have got something for him, knowing that that's probably going to be the best case scenario for us.
Yeah. So you still want to make the trade?
I don't definitely want. I mean, let's see how this week goes. You know, look, he's the best player on our team by far. So the more we wait, the more we see, the more his value goes up. You know, so it's not it's not like waiting is going to harm it unless God forbid something happens.
Yeah, you run the risk of injury.
But,
if your plan is if the ownership's plan is ultimately to trade him and move him at some point, they need to do it sooner than later. He's shown what everyone needed to see. He is taking 30 carries a game. He's like the only running back in football doing it, and he's been pretty effective. And on a shitty team with all the other weapons either out or just ineffective, and other teams can load the box, and he's still doing it.
I'm just happy that we're playing the Packers before Odell signs with them, because I have a feeling he's going to, and when he does, that's going to be that's good. I mean, he's not Devonta Adams, but he gives Aaron Rodgers a very effective target.
So you think it's Green Bay?
Yeah.
Because
I think when they look at it,
Von Miller would argue that it's Buffalo. He said it's not just him thinking, it's an absolute guarantee that Odell is going to Buffalo. And then Odell tweeted out something pretty funny asking, because he saw the betting odds for where he would go. And he asked, hey, if I'm not technically in the NFL right now, can I, asking for a friend, can I put money on myself and then decide?
Look, Buffalo is probably his only option, or the only one he's considering in the AFC, which is a much harder division or a conference to get to the Super Bowl than the NFC.
The Chargers were the odds-on favorite, though. Vegas says it's the Chargers
to get Odell.
Yes.
Well, why would he want to go to the two coldest cities in November?
Because he wants to win a Super Bowl, and Von Miller.
That's why I don't think
he's
he's
a very convincing person, and he would get to play with Josh Allen, and who wouldn't want to play with Josh Allen right
Chargers. Now? I don't think he's going to the Chargers.
Well, let me find the odds. I can tell you the teams.
The Rams would make more sense because at least he knows it. He knows that their offense. And if they can get better, but I'm thinking if you're looking at a team right now to hitch your wagon to, I might take the Packers if I'm Odell Beckham rather over the Rams. But he doesn't have to yet. But I'm saying today, I think the Packers is where he'd end up. Look, of course, everyone would like to go to the Bills, but it is you are going to have to beat harder teams if you're in Buffalo than you are if you're in Green Bay. You are. The path is easier. So, that's what I think is good. What are you pulling up, Brendan?
I'm finding the odds for you of where he's going to land. So yeah, it's the Packers, Chiefs, Rams, Bills, Ravens, and Chargers are what I'm seeing.
Is there not? There's an option for the field too, I'm sure.
Yeah, most likely. But I don't recommend anyone make bets on this. Those kind of bets are sucker bets.
Not yet. The guy's all over the place.
Yeah, unless you have insider information and you know his agent, I would hold off.
Yeah, I would
spending
say
money.
no.
But yeah,
maybe
the
goes back to the
Chargers,
Giants.
I mean, literally, you go on Twitter and you search Odell, and it's like every single Chargers fan Twitter and every Packers fan Twitter is saying we're the odds-on favorite to land him. All those teams, Bills Twitter, but Von Miller's been very outspoken. He says that they're a foregone conclusion. He's 100% guaranteed to come to Buffalo. And a month ago, it would have been like, well, is there room for him? Because you have all these guys. And now it's like Gabe Davis keeps re-injuring his ankle. You have Jamison Crowder broke his ankle. He's out for a while. Jake Kumaro has that high ankle sprain, so he'll be gone for a while. Isaiah McKenzie's in concussion protocol. So really, if they were to sign him, he could slip in and have a pretty significant role. Dawson Knox is also out this week, their tight end. So that offense where it's like, oh, there's too many mouths to feed is suddenly like, oh, there's only 2 right now, and you could slide in here and you could be pretty effective right away.
It ain't happening, dude.
It might.
It ain't.
If Bean wants it to happen, it's going to happen.
You can't have Saquon and you can't have Odell. You can have the team that you have already, which is a very good fucking football team. Great win this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, job well done. But it wasn't like a resounding win, I don't think. Do you like, do you consider it like
no,
It's a good
absolutely
win.
not. It was a great win in the sense of the team didn't quit on either side of the ball and they kept fighting. And it was bad weather conditions on the road against a very good, Lamar Jackson and his offense, who put up 0 points in the second half. Buffalo's defense, even with all the injuries, has given up 7 points in 4 games in the second half, which is crazy. So they didn't quit. Josh did just enough to get them back into position to win. And that last drive was, a lot of fun to watch. Should Harbaugh have kicked the field goal? Maybe, but if you're up by 3 points and Josh Allen drives down the field anyway, it doesn't really fucking matter. So I get why he went for it on 4th down. Josh was going to lead the team down either way. The Ravens defense isn't good, and Josh is he's a dude on a mission. And they finally got a win in a 1-score game. They were like 0-17 or something crazy like that in 1-score games. And then they were like, in 2-score games or more, they were like crazy, like 1 loss out of 20 games or something. So
points on the board means a lot.
Yeah.
And it also means you don't believe in your defense, which is what John Harbaugh probably doesn't believe.
Well, that's what he said right there. I don't believe you guys can stop him with 1:40 left.
Yeah. I was surprised they didn't kick the field goal, but he's explained it after the analytics kind of backed it up a little bit. You got one of the best players in the league. You got to try to stop him. It's a really tough thing to do. So I was happy that the Bills pulled it out. I thought Lamar Jackson, it wasn't his finest game, but it was another, the two of them, the battle between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I love watching those guys go up against each other. I love watching Josh Allen go up against Mahomes. It's like those quarterbacks in that AFC. It's a fucking awesome. Like with those games, like I don't have for me, I don't personally have any, anything in the game to what, but like the two of them competing against each other, it's really, really awesome. So I'm happy for the Bills, but again, 3-1, just like the Giants. But more expectations for you guys. And again, you cannot have Saquon Barkley. We still need him for right now. But let's talk in a couple weeks.
You're going to have to get rid of him at some point. And hopefully it's not after he hurts himself again. Hopefully that does not happen.
Let's have a little bit of fucking fun, please. Can we have a little bit of fun?
You've had your fun. You're 3-1. You've had your fun.
We've had 5 years of misery. Give me the Thanksgiving.
You had 2 Super Bowls recently.
I need it, and give me the Thanksgiving for the love of God, please.
Where are you guys playing on Thanksgiving?
I just want to have a nice holiday. By Thanksgiving, I don't even watch football anymore. Giants have been out of it by Thanksgiving the last 5 years. Not mathematically, but but.
You're on the right path. Watching Daniel Jones, it seems like it's just going to be a bad situation.
More Tyrod Taylor too.
Yeah, but with Jones, it's like that kid has talent, and there have been flashes, but he's never been able to put it together because he's had a different coach and a different system. It seems like every year he's never had a receiving core that's healthy. His line has always sucked. So people are going to take it out on him, and it's just not going to work out. So you are going to have to find a quarterback next year. But I think Dable, if anyone can do it, he's the guy that can transform a decent quarterback into a great one.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I think we did this last week right before the NFL game. So we were talking about, should Tua play? Will he play? Will he be effective? Of course, I said he wouldn't because of his fucking brain. And I was right about my pick about Cincy covering. And then what happened was, like, I watched it with both boys and they were like, fuck.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Like, whoa. It was brutal. He's out this week. I don't know if they've ruled out.
We don't know when he's coming back. Tyreek Hill is still questionable, as is Waddle, but we don't know when Tua is coming back. There's no timetable for he's going to go through this and this and this, and we're going to recheck and figure it out. And next week, maybe he'll be a go. There's been nothing. It's just like, we don't know. I mean, we're going to let him sit. He could be out the rest of the season.
I don't know anything about the brain, but that didn't look good at all.
No.
And having those two instances back to back doesn't look good. So I don't know what he has to prove or what he has to show, I guess, diagnostically with his, brain and his motor skills and stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if you saw, like we were talking about Thanksgiving, like a while, like the whole month of October. And I don't know what that does to them as a team. I think Teddy Bridgewater is a very capable backup. I think he came in, he played well, and besides the bad read at the last play of the interception, he threw the ball further down the field. He hit Tyreek Hill on a couple of those passes that Tua actually underthrew. So I think they can definitely stay above water, but I don't think Tua should be back for a while. I mean, again, I don't know, but that does not look that those two short week, 4 days apart. Those two plays happened 4 days apart.
Yeah.
Not great.
It really doesn't bode well for the investigation against Miami either.
No, and then I think they fired their doctor, so it's like that's not. It's I'm not looking. I would not expect to see Tua play the next couple of weeks. I don't know who they're playing this week. Actually, I didn't even see who are they playing.
They're playing the Jets, so that'll be interesting, especially if Tyreek and or Waddle can't go. That makes that game a lot
keep falling into fucking the Jets.
I know. It's all happening for the Jets.
I kind of want to take him this week.
Let me get a beer and then we'll do our picks. You guys, oh God, I don't want to take the Jets. I want to be the talk of New York.
Hey, I also want to point out, Steve, that we did everything we could to win Lucas money, and he's the one who dropped the ball this week. My pick to take the Chiefs over the Bucks was 100% right, and the Chiefs dominated that game, and it wasn't even really close, despite some garbage time at the end there for Tom Brady. But yeah, the Chiefs just completely outclassed Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you didn't help yourself out last weekend, Lucas. But
I know. I wonder if you think Brady plays till he's 50 now that he's divorced.
No, because he's already his play. You see it now. The age is catching up with him, and his play. How have you not seen it?
I see.
Unless he goes to another team. Unless he goes to another team, you're out of your mind. You guys are out of your mind. He could go to another team with a great offensive line.
No.
Are you not watching these games? They're not protecting him. He's got no offensive line, so they're getting in there. They're attacking him, and he's literally just laying down. He's not like trying to scramble away. He is laying down on the field and just giving up.
Dude,
like, okay, I'm down. He doesn't want to get hit.
Barring injury, I don't think you're going to be able to convince him that he's still not a tier 1 quarterback in the NFL.
Well, the scores are going to
show you. Who wants to sit down and have a conversation with this man and tell him that he's no longer? I mean, unless the team hires Bill Belichick.
Yeah, the guy that's paying his contract is going to sit him down and go, "You're not worth this anymore, dude. I'm getting someone who can actually throw the ball. You were amazing. Thanks for the Super Bowl. Go sit in a booth and be the best color analyst because you can break down every play better than anybody, and go make $100 million doing that. But your days of playing are done." I still don't think he's going to make it through this whole season. I think this week, though, if I was ever going to bet on him, it would be against the Falcons because he's absolutely shredded the Falcons since he got to Tampa. And the divorce shit's probably got him really fueled and pissed off. So if he was going to throw 4 touchdowns, this would be the week he's going to throw 4 touchdowns. But otherwise, no thank you. I was a couple of seasons early on it, but this year, you have not been watching football. If you think Tom Brady is still
a couple seasons early on.
That was a couple of seasons early. He had a great defense. He had a great offensive line. That shit's done. That defense has holes. That offensive line is terrible. Godwin can't stay healthy. Gronkowski, his safety blanket's gone. It's not good football. At best, it's okay football. He's a top 15 quarterback most weeks.
There is a video of someone saying something like this, literally for the past 3 decades. You can go back to the aughts, to the tens, and even in the 20s now. The same shit has been said. And I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not even saying that you're not even justified in your opinion on it. I'm just saying that even when you said like, oh, I was wrong a couple years late or early on this, but I think that Tom considers himself still an elite quarterback, and it's the surrounding, it's the things around him, the intangibles that are the problem right now. It's the lack of health in the offensive line, or the this or that. I don't think he's putting the blame on himself at all. I mean, he does, and like we're a team, and the offense has to get better, and so I'm not saying, but I'm saying like if he's looking at himself and analyzing his own performance, I don't think he believes that he is the detrimental one to the team.
No, because you can't
No,
think
he
that
believes
way.
that.
You can't play at this level and think that way. So absolutely, you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying he's throwing tablets better than he's throwing footballs.
And that's my point.
I've watched all those
is,
snaps. He's not
and
good.
Lucas's point is that that's the truth. And usually you need a coach to tell you. But I don't know if there's anyone out there that's going to tell this guy that he's not still TB12. So I'm just saying, minus Giselle, he might have 50, dude. That's only 4 more years.
I want to see it.
It's not happening. There's no chance. I would bet my house he's
Do you
done.
want to have a over
I think he's
under 40?
I think he's done after this year.
Oh,
Regardless of what happens, he's done if he makes it through the season, which I still don't think he will, because he's going to take a few hits. He's too old. He's going to get hit by some 300-pound dude that's coming from the blind side, and it's just going to wreck his hip. And I mean, you're his age.
That, dude.
You know how it feels waking up with a sore hip.
How about this? Do you think, and take health out of it, okay? Take the fact that he can get hurt out of it. Do you think he just, based on pure merit alone, loses his job?
No, because who's going to replace him in Tampa?
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
He's not going to lose his job. He might get pulled. He might get pulled.
What about next
from a game next year?
He wants to play next year.
He wants to play next year.
They barely make it into the playoffs. They lose in the first round.
We'll see if Tampa even wants to pay him. They may want to go in another direction. You got a new coach.
That's what I'm saying.
Bruce Arians isn't the coach anymore. You got a new coach who isn't the same guy where he's like, hey, Tom, get out there and just throw it up and see what happens. It's a different approach. So I think they'd probably want to rebuild and build something else, because they know too. I'm an idiot. They know better than I do. They're watching what they see on the field. He's not going to be the guy that continues to elevate this team.
It's so funny to me, though, that his offensive coordinator is Byron Leftwich, who was drafted in 2003, like 3 years after Brady was drafted.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way Leftwich tells him what to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even if he thinks it, I know you could say it, but like Tom takes that shit with a grain of, it's like you can't, right? You can't really, like, I know more than you. Mm-hmm. What are we doing here? All right.
He hasn't lost 3 games in a row since 2002.
Well,
what?
I don't think that's going to happen this week. I think it's a winnable game against Atlanta, but other than this week, I'm seeing it. I don't know how you guys aren't seeing it. The play is not there. It's also him. It's not everybody else. It's also him, and it's also just not the same team that we saw 2 years ago. I mean, we saw how Buffalo looked against Miami. Injuries matter, and when you don't have key players in every spot, it catches up with you. And even though Buffalo is a 14-point favorite against the Steelers this week, again, they're missing their entire secondary. They're possibly going to miss Tremaine Edmonds. They're missing a couple of D linemen. They're missing 2 receivers, possibly 3 receivers, and a tight end. So Josh Allen can only do so much. Tom Brady can only do so much. You got to have the team as well. And, Brady is 45. It's only going to take 1 hit, and he can't escape like some of the other guys can.
I
Just
have
don't
the
think he
line.
makes it.
I have the line of that game at 9.5. Is that what you have?
For the
9.5.
Bills Steelers?
No, the
I
Falcons.
got it at
Bucks,
10.
Sorry.
Yeah, I have
You
it
have
at
it
10
at
on
10?
I have it at
DraftKings.
10.
Okay. All right, I'm
With
looking
an
at ESPN.
over under of 46.5. I mean, that's probably about right. I think
Yeah.
Atlanta, Cordero Patterson, he's out for a month at least. So you got a rookie running back and then a practice squad running back, and you got a rookie wide receiver and Kyle Pitts, second-year tight end who hasn't done much taking passes from Mariota. So I don't think Atlanta's necessarily going to be able to keep pace. But Tom Brady is either going to have the game of the season or he's just going to completely disintegrate in front of our eyes because of all this divorce stuff.
How funny though if you take the Bucks this week.
Again,
I mean, it's a lot of points to take it with.
I would take the
Yeah.
Bucks. I think there's better options, but if you're going to take the Bucks, this is what I'm saying. And if you're playing daily fantasy, this is the only week I would say bet on Tom Brady. Any other week, I would say no fucking way. But there's a few other games I would rather be on than that one.
This Bills Steelers, the Steelers have never been 14-point or underdogs since the AFL merger.
And when was the last time the Steelers were 14-point dog?
The AFL merger.
Oh my God. Yeah,
and
they're
they're starting
bad.
their rookie quarterback.
And they should.
Mhm.
They should. Homeboy didn't look good. They should. How bad? Where's fucking Detroit's defense? How come they can't stop anybody?
They don't have.
They fucked us last week.
They have no defense.
They really did, man. They're putting up points. They're
Yeah.
scoring,
Yeah.
and that was with the DeAndre Swift.
They're making
That-
history.
That was a long
most
ass
points
game.
scored and most points
Yeah.
given up through
Like,
4 weeks
where
in
the
NFL
fuck is
history.
the defense. Is Aiden Hutchinson doing well at all? I mean, I really haven't.
He is.
Yeah,
He is.
he's putting pressure on quarterbacks. He's got a couple of sacks, but when you have no coverage in the secondary, and he's only one guy, it's not like he's rushing quarterbacks to get rid of the ball every play. And he was injured a little bit, so he wasn't like 100% in on every snap. Like they have a lot more to fix than just like him. They got a rookie linebacker leading the crew. Like that says a lot about the defense when a rookie 7th round pick comes in and he wins the job and he's suddenly the leader of the defense, which we saw happen on Hard Knocks with Rodrigo. Like that tells you the state of your defense when a 7th rounder comes in and takes over everything.
Yeah. I wish they played that better. I mean, they scored enough points. I thought we had it, but they couldn't stop them ever.
Yeah.
Like Seattle, it was Seattle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Geno Smith. What the fuck?
Geno Smith's playing solid football.
Better than Russell Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, if you compare them, the start of this year with the start of
It's
last
not even
year.
close.
Yep. And I thought Seattle was going to be like a bottom 3 team, and they're kind of not. I mean, they are, but they're kind of not.
I have a couple thoughts on this weekend. I don't know if you guys want me to
go for it.
I think the 49ers beat the shit out of the Panthers. I think the 49ers defense is unreal. Baker Mayfield, I mean, their offense is nil. I mean, since DJ Moore scored those 3 touchdowns on opening day, like I called it. Not once have they played well since then. So I have it at -6.5. I think they win by at least 10 points, double digits.
That is the lowest point total on this slate as well.
Oh, it is. Over under is 39.5, right?
Yeah, it's far and away the lowest. And this is like, if you're looking at betting odds and tracking every week, Vegas has been juicing these numbers up. They're higher than what they normally are.
I think Baker is going to make a great college.
Yeah,
football
Baker's going to
announcer in
take
2
over
years.
for what's his name? The kid from Florida, the Virgin kid.
Jesse Palmer.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No. Tebow will either lose lose Christ for a little bit and have some sort of like incident where he has to go away for a while. I think, that you can't pitch a perfect game your whole life, or he just, like finds another calling from God, moves on to another path of his life and Baker Mayfield's like, that's my job now. I'll come in and take that job. So, or Baker Mayfield can maybe host the Bachelorette like Jesse Palmer does. So, there are options, but yes, I completely agree that is the best course of action for Baker Mayfield. It's over. It sucks, but it's over.
No,
And
you get him, Matt Leinart, Brady Quinn. That's a
Mhm.
good.
You pile them all together.
Yeah,
Pick a white quarterback,
he was great in college.
good-looking guy who was great in college. Yep. So yeah, I like the 49ers by at least a touchdown. So
I love that pick.
Yep.
Brent,
Who's
what are you
next?
thinking?
No, go ahead, Lucas.
All right, I don't want to do it.
Well, then
And
don't do it.
But
Are
I'm
we doing the
going
lines again?
Yeah.
You doing it
Really?
again? The
No,
lines?
no.
Oh,
No, don't do
I-
that. If you're gonna
no,
take
not
something
again.
in the Lions game, take the under.
Yeah, I mean, the last time, just think of that Super Bowl when Belichick played Goff. That was the most unwatchable Super Bowl. I think this game will be. I think the Lions' offense should be slowed down quite a bit.
Also,
I kind of want to take.
but if you look at Jared Goff's splits when he's at home in Detroit and when he's anywhere on the road, like his QBR is cut in half. He's not a good road quarterback. So you're right. Belichick's going to slow that offense down. And if you were going to bet on that game, you would take the under because the number's been juiced up a bit because Detroit's been scoring points. But I think Belichick can stop him. And then Belichick is starting, what's his name? Zappy.
Yeah.
So their quarterback 3 is starting. So they're just going to run the ball. Patriots are just going to run the ball, and Goff's not going to be able to do much. And he might still not have him on St. Brown. We already know DeAndre Swift is out. So Belichick will take away Hawkinson, and it'll be a very slow game.
I kind of want to take the Jets.
Woo, boy. I mean,
Getting 3 points.
Yeah, you want to get the points too, right? Or
Yeah.
you want to take them on the money line to win the game.
No, I want the points. I mean,
Well,
I'll take money
you're getting
line,
3
but-
points at plus 100. On the money line,
They're
it's plus
home.
150.
Right? I think they're home.
They are
Yeah,
home.
They're home.
They're home.
So maybe weather will be a little shittier. What's it like over there right now, Steve? Is it cold?
No, the weather's going to be nice and sunny, but it's going to be like sunny and like 65, 60 degrees.
Okay, so
not
not
hot.
100, not 100, no
Yeah.
humidity.
We're going to be fine on Sunday.
Yeah, that's an aggressive pick, but that's, I like it.
All right, let's do it.
I'm looking at Kansas City is only giving 7 points at home against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. Mahomes is going to shine in prime time, and that defense is not going to stop him. That offense, you saw it a lot last week against a better defense, really clicking now. And something that was interesting, so he is a guy who's kind of has tunnel vision for Kelsey. Not that it matters because Kelsey's burning everybody anyway. But he had Mecole Hardman, I think, on 2 separate plays where he was wide open, like Tyreek Hill open down the field, and he just didn't see him. So Andy Reid and him are going to look at that game film and go, okay, Mecole's wide open. Let's start throwing him the ball. So they're going to bust a couple of plays over the top that are just going to be like massive 50, 60-yard touchdowns to either him or MVS, and the Raiders aren't going to have an answer for it. So give me Kansas City at home in prime time, and I'm only giving 7 points. Like that's a lock.
This guy's in love with Kansas City again, bro.
They're a good football team.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
They're a good football team, and they're going to win for us.
Great, but how about a little variety in your life, dude? Fucking Disneyland every week, Kansas City every week. Give me a break, bro.
You're putting Lucas's money on Jimmy Garoppolo. I just want you to remember that. So before you lecture
an
me,
extraordinary and like a
before you
legendary
lecture
defense.
me, you're only getting a half a point more better on Jimmy G versus me, who's taking Patrick Mahomes, who do you feel more? Who do you trust? Do you trust Jimmy
This
G?
guy. I
Yes.
trust the 49ers defense. So listen to me. What does that get us if we get it right?
Well, we could also throw the Bills on the money line if you want. It's minus 900.
No, don't do that because the Bills could lose. That would
Only
that's
gonna
what
They're
would
not going to
happen.
lose.
And that would fuck everything up. If the
Yeah.
Bills lost, you guys would be pissed.
If TJ Watt was playing and we had all these injuries, I would be a little uneasy. TJ Watt is not, or is it TJ? Who's the brother that's on Pittsburgh?
Yeah,
That's
no,
hurt?
it's TJ.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
TJ.
TJ. So
He's
if
not.
the fact that he's out, he's like their guy. They don't have an
Yeah.
elite quarterback. He's like the version of an elite quarterback, but on defense. So they don't have their guy, and that defense sucks now.
By the way, shout out to his brother for like having a heart attack and playing the same day. You saw,
What?
You saw that, right?
JJ
No,
Watt had a heart
He
attack.
had
No.
AFib, and they had to shock his heart back. See, he tweeted
Wow.
about it. Yeah, he
I didn't see that.
yeah, and he still played like 3 days later.
Damn.
Okay, so
He's a man.
where's
that get us?
$50 will get us
I want to go watch the Mets lose.
$314.47.
All right, that's
That's not
doable.
bad.
Yeah.
That'll buy us all the Mets t-shirts that they had in August that said we're the champs of the East already. You know, the fucking it's ridiculous. I don't think they're gonna lose. I think they beat the Padres, but I wouldn't want to play the Padres in a 3-game series right now. So
Mhm.
Seattle beat Toronto, which was surprising to me, but fucking Castillo pitched unbelievable today. Shane Bieber pitched like a fucking true number one. Cleveland beat the Rays, which I'm happy with. Bring on Cleveland. That's what I say as a Yankee fan. Bring on Cleveland, okay? I don't want anything to do with Tampa. I really don't. Not in an ALDS series. So bring on Cleveland. Yeah. So and then what's the other one? St. Louis lost to Philadelphia. That was surprising me, but Philadelphia, we'll see. I think St. Louis wins that series though.
Mhm.
That's it for us. Anything you guys want to throw in there? Anything else?
A good Netflix watch is that Redeem Team doc. It came out yesterday, I think, or maybe today. About the 2008 Olympic team, basketball team with Kobe and LeBron.
Oh no, I didn't see it. It's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah, it
All
just
right,
came
cool.
out today.
I watched on Netflix that those Untold the
Mhm.
docs that they're doing. The one about the
Yeah.
greatest yacht race, the America's Cup.
Yeah.
Pretty good one, dude. Pretty good one.
Okay.
I'm sucker for all those, but yeah, the Australian guys were made for interesting. They were interesting characters. So,
Okay.
and finally finished Dahmer, which was fucking awesome. And that's it. That's all I got going on right now. American Gigolo, which is sort of not enough fucking yet. So, that's it. Oh, I'll be in Sacramento next weekend. Oh, and Port Charlotte, Florida. Hearts, thoughts, but they're canceling the weekend. They're not up and running yet. They're still dealing with a lot of shit. So I'm sure they'll get back to you as far as if you bought tickets for the Port Charlotte. I'll find another weekend and come down there whenever you guys are ready. So just feel better, get better, do better, be better.
Don't tell people in a hurricane to do
No, I'm saying our government can do better, Brendan. Our government can do
you
better.
fucking assholes. Do better.
Do better with holding back that wind. And then next month it's Davenport, Iowa, the Magic City Casino, and then I'll be in Addison, Texas the weekend after that. And then there's Chicago and Bananas and Louisville. So SteveRannazzisi.com for tickets. But next week, Sacramento, I'll see you guys there. And I'll be in LA on Tuesday and Wednesday. So hopefully some spots at the store around town. Check me out there. You guys have anything else?
I'm at the Brea Improv tonight, Saturday, and Sunday. If this gets released before any of those shows happen.
Probably not. But we'll see you when we see you. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. Love you. See you next week.
Oh,
Go
Bills.
Bills.
Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Steve Rannazzisi. I'm the guy